Many people draw their Social Security at their earliest opportunity, which is age 62, because they heard they can, but they didn't really understand how the rules work. So they thought they could continue to work their job full time and kind of double dip, work and get their Social Security. Now, they probably knew that Social Security is reduced if you take it earlier than your full retirement age. So if you don't know your full retirement age, it's based on the year you were born. Get my book on Amazon, Medicare Mama's Guide to Social Security and Medicare. You can find it. It'll tell you based on the year you were born what your full retirement age is and what the reduction is if you draw it early. For example, if you draw Social Security at your full retirement age, which is closer to 67, you would get 100%. 100% of what? 100% of what you've paid into Social Security. It's based on your highest 35 years of earnings, not your last 5, not your highest 5, your highest 35. They index that for inflation for today's dollars, and then they do a little stuff. They give the people that have low earnings a little bit of help there, and they come up with your amount. That's called your primary insurance amount. That's how much you would get at your full retirement age, and you would get 100% of that amount. But you're like, I don't want to wait till my full retirement age. I want to draw earlier, ideally at 62. So at 62, you would get about 70%. So a 30% reduction. 30% reduced every paycheck, every month for the rest of your life, no matter how long you live. A lot of people think, well, 30% is bad, but when I reach my full retirement age, then I will get 100%. No, that's not how it works. When you draw your Social Security benefit, you're locking that amount in. You're locking that in. You'll get a small cost of living adjustment that we get most, but not all Januaries. But in general, you're going to lock that amount in level for the rest of your life. So you draw it at 62. You don't understand that your income is limited. So you're just working full time. And after a while, if you didn't report your expected income to the Social Security, you were like, then eventually they're going to find out because the IRS sends your tax returns to Social Security and they're going to say, oh, Sylvia worked a full-time job last year and she made $70,000. And we paid her Social Security every month. So she exceeded the earned income limit. For every $2 you go over the limit, they reduce your Social Security by $1. Now the limit changes every year. For 2025, the limit is $23,400 gross annual income. If you're self-employed, it's going to be your net income after you take out your expenses. So around $23,000. And I said, hey, I made it $70,000. So they paid me all these months, and now I owe them money back because I'm in an overage situation. So it was a big mistake. So if I figure this mistake out before the year is up, I can fix it. I can withdraw my Social Security benefit. Now, in my book, I go into the difference between withdrawing my benefit and suspending my benefit. And this stuff is complicated, which is why I wrote the whole 360-page book. So I highly recommend if you're getting ready to start Social Security that you figure this stuff out, either on your own or head over to Amazon to get some help from my book. So let's say I drew at 62. I didn't understand this rule. Now it's about 8-9 months in, and I'm like, oh, dang, I messed up. What can I do? So if you want to continue to work, what you need to do is file to withdraw your Social Security benefits. You say, I need a redo, I need to unretire. You will file the form with them to stop your benefits, and you can only do that once in your life. You can only do that if you haven't yet been on Social Security for 1 year. So in my scenario, I said, I've only been drawing Social Security for about 8 or 9 months. So I'm still within the window that I can do it. If I figure this out in year 2, I made a big financial mistake. So I'm still within my window. I can do it. I file the form. I tell Social Security, I want to withdraw my benefits. Then they will contact me and tell me how to pay them back. I know, that's the sticky part. I have to pay back all the Social Security benefits I've already received. Now, they do not take payments. So you might have to get a loan or take a loan from your 401k or, figure this out. But it's very advantageous financially for you to be able to do this, to pay it all back in one lump sum. Now, they don't charge interest, so that's good, but they don't take payments. You got to come up with that money. And let's say the average person this year makes about $1,600 a month. So $1,600, times 8 or 9 months, that's a chunk of change. But it's worth it for you to come up with that money to pay it back, because now you get a reset, a redo. Now, I might work 2-3 more years. So instead of limiting myself to 70% of my Social Security, 30% reduction because I drew at 62, maybe I don't retire till 65. That's kind of a more common age that people retire because they can get Medicare. And so I don't retire until 65. Now, instead of getting 70% of my Social Security, I'm going to get more like 85% of my Social Security. So I'll get a much higher amount every month for the rest of my life. Plus, I've continued to work, and Social Security is based on my highest 35 years. And maybe working these last 3-4 years has increased my overall amount that I'm going to get for the rest of my life. So it definitely is worth it if you are going to continue to work full time and you realize you made a mistake, not just to go, oh, well, I made a mistake. No. If you're still within that 1-year window where you can unretire, where you can redo this, you want to explore that. And I told you how to do it. I go into more detail in my book, How to Do It. If you're past the 1-year mark, yeah, you can't do it. What you will do is you'll either stop working full-time or stop working altogether so you can stay under that earned income limit going forward, so they stop reducing your Social Security. So if you're under your full retirement age and you can't reduce your income low enough, you're like, I want to get my Social Security, but I still got to work my part-time job, and I'm only allowed to make about $23,000, but my job is about $35,000. So for every $2 you go over the earned income limit for your year, keep in mind, I told you $23,400 is for 2025. It changes every year. If you go to the link in my bio and you get my free Social Security and Medicare cheat sheet, you just download it. It'll go immediately to your email. Then we'll already have you in our system. I update that every year when the new numbers come out for the following year, and I'll automatically send you the new numbers for the next year. So you'll get that every year. So you got to remember that amount does go up slightly every year. So mind your earned income limit for the year you're drawing your Social Security and try to stay right around that number. But if you do go over it, then you're going to get in a repayment situation with the government. Now, a lot of people say, where does that money go that they take away? They took away $10,000. Where does that go? You could potentially get that money back. People think, I think they're more wishful thinking, but they're thinking at my full retirement age, I get that back. They're like, Dear Sylvia, we had taken out $50,000 over the last 5 years because you made too much, and here's that money back. No, that's not how it works. That'd be cool. What they do is at your full retirement age, they say, okay, you worked a little bit over the earned income limit every year for the past 5 years. That total is $50,000 that was withheld. So now that you're at your full retirement age, they throw it back into the computation and they recalculate it, and you will get a little bit extra in your monthly payment every month for as long as you live. Now, I don't know how actuarially long they stretch that out, that payment, but they stretch that $50,000 out however long. So if you do live long enough, you will get all of it back. So that's the good news. The bad news is you don't get that, here, dear Sylvia, here's your lump sum check at your full retirement age. If you live long enough, you'll get the money back. I hope you learned something today. If you did, please share it with a friend. Subscribe to my channel or follow me if you want to learn more about retirement. If you like this video, you might really like this video. Check it out. And we'd appreciate if you subscribe to our channel so you never miss a great video. We put out one every week. Check in the description below this video for a link to our cheat sheet on Social Security and Medicare. And you can also give us a comment if you have a specific question. Always feel free to call us or email us at the Medicare Family.